All this, the AI surveillance is getting to be a serious issue. Now, here's how that translates, Paul, for Christians, for instance, in China. Now, it'll be used here too.
Oh, you know,
eventually.
Yeah, you know,
to track all of us, so they'll know, where we go, everywhere we go, what we do. When we go to church, they're going to know. All right.
Yep.
So here, in China, they of course are using a tremendous amount of this AI surveillance, and we've been talking about it. We've been reporting on it now for months, and so anyway, they are being tracked. Everything that they do is being tracked. It's one of the most. This is one of the most powerful surveillance tools and Christian persecution tactics ever made, especially when you consider that the country has installed millions of these cameras on streets and public venues, on university campuses, and in churches. And speaking of which, we have an article here, very alarming, that there is actually, this article is coming from Israel 365, and it's a report on torturing Christians in secret facilities and trying to force them to renounce their faith. It's happening by the Communist Party in China.
They're using facilities, secret facilities.
Underground. Yeah.
They're rounding up Christians and they're trying to re-educate them. And we've been talking about the fact that here in America there's 851 what they call FEMA camps. Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot of concern that these camps could be used for rounding up Christians and re-educating them or torturing them.
Or anti-vaxxers.
Or anti-vaxxers.
Right.
Which, by the way, is 80% evangelical Christians.
Right.
Okay.
And many people are saying now, many people in the prophetic community are saying that there will come a time when people who are not vaccinated will literally be hunted down.
Oh, yeah.
And put into...
Well, they're going to say we're a threat to humanity.
Exactly.
They're already calling us terrorists, Christian terrorists.
Absolutely.
Then we're going to become this... Look at these people we're going to get to. Those people stuck on St. Vincent Island.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Of these 16,000 people that are ordered to leave, 10,000 of them haven't been vaccinated.
No, that's because of a big eruption of a volcano, in case you didn't know.
But here's the deal. That island is about 80% Catholic. And the Catholic Church is against the vaccine, but the Pope's for it. I just throwing that out there.
Yeah, hello.
So that's a good, strong possibility that these people don't want the vaccine because of their faith.
Right.
So do they die? Do they die, Pastor?
Well, they're not being allowed to get on cruise ships.
Nope.
Or to go to a different island if they haven't been vaccinated.
Yeah. So what? Are they that big of a threat to humanity that they should die from volcanoes? Have we lost our minds? Have we lost our souls is the question.
A guy that was in one of these torture camps said he was held in a windowless room for nearly 10 months, during which time he was beaten, verbally abused, and mentally tortured by staff, eventually resorting to self-harm by throwing himself against the wall. It says, you have to, quote, you have to accept the statement they prepare for you. If you refuse, you will be seen as having bad attitude, and they will keep you in detention and keep beating you. Quote, they were using brainwashing methods. Let me ask you a question, Paul. What do you think was the most washed body part in the year 2020?
Hands?
How about the brain?
Oh, you nailed that one. You're right, you're right.
So they were using brainwashing methods on those of us who were on bail from the detention center. There were no windows, no ventilation, no time allowed outside, 2 meals a day brought to us by a designated person. And inmates, listen to this. This is what it's coming to. This is what it's coming here. Inmates who refused to admit their mistakes were held in solitary confinement and brainwashing processes.
This is what's coming to America and the rest of the world if we don't recognize that the communist regimes, and the communists are tied right into the Antichrist. It's part of the Antichrist.
Part of the whole beast system.
Yeah, it's part of the deal. So Lucifer doesn't want to just kill you.
No.
He wants you to worship him first.
Right.
Then he'll kill you.
Now here's a boom, boom, boom. You ready for a boom, boom, boom?
I'm ready,
okay,
Pastor, I'm ready.
Here we go. In Canada, look at the article on the screen now. In Canada, the government put a fence up around this church and declared that it is shut down and that people cannot go to church. So they put this fence up. This draconian government put this fence up. Guess what happens? I'm going to stay right there, guys. The Christians tear down the fence. This is how.
This is Canada. We're talking Canada.
Exactly. So I have another article here showing the police gearing up, getting ready to go in.
Oh my Lord.
Now let's watch this little clip. Here is the guy describing what's going on. Take a watch at this.
Now the shock troops are coming. Gas mask, so we're getting ready for pepper spray.
Need protection from churches.
200 cops
Communists
now.
and Nazis need to be protected from churches. You're on the wrong side. The police.
So we're at close to 200 cops now.
Should be taking the fence
gas masks,
they work for the
visors and stuff. Gas masks
tell my
for
daughter tonight
gas.
that the police are here to
200
protect her from
cops.
this book.
And a
Men
helicopter.
in uniform that she's supposed
40
to
vehicles for one church.
protect her from the war.
Pastor, but what was so dangerous? This wasn't David Koresh
Absolutely.
and Branch Davidians or something. I mean, what is it that these people have done wrong?
It defies any kind of thought process that is cognizant.
Well, what did they do wrong? I mean, what are they being accused of?
Well, they were banned from having church. You're not allowed.
Oh.
Yeah, so you remember when they went in and shut down they went in and shut down the mass, and the one preacher told them, "Get out of here till you come back with a warrant." Remember?
Right.
Yeah, we showed that last week.
The Romanian from up in Canada, yeah.
Now, I've told you before, we've always pointed out on here that what the left is constantly doing is trying to normalize everything that's outside of God's word when it comes to marriage and relation between humans. And so here now we have a situation where they have normalized, or they think they have normalized, homosexuality to the whole world. And if you turn on we were talking about it last night, if you turn on any TV show that like comes on the main networks, any TV show on any given night, there's always an emphasis. All of the couples that are struggling and can't get along and having all kind of problems are the heterosexual couples.
Yeah, it seems to be.
But then it's the gay couples that are having the good, loving, understanding relationships. You know,
it's all working
and
out.
so they normalize that, and they got they can get married everywhere, and now they're working on normalizing transgenderism, and they're also working on pedophilia, and we've been talking about that. But there's another one that's been added to the list, Pastor Paul.
What now?
And if you'll go to the screen, guys, a parent in New York is suing to marry their own adult child. A New Yorker wants to marry his own adult offspring and is suing to overturn laws barring the incestuous practice, calling it a matter of individual autonomy. Okay? So we live in this whole era of accepting everybody, whatever they want to do, is okay, and however they want to live is okay. Is
Just
outside
throw
of God's
caution
word.
to the wind and morality out the window.
Right. It's an amazing thing. As a matter of fact, this week, Prophecy News came out with an article, and everybody, you should go on your computer to Prophecy News Network, prophecynewswatch.com. There's a lot of good articles there. I'm trying to get set up to where we'll be able to, as you request it, to put on our website all of the links that we use on Wednesday night. We're working on that, and we're going to have that available to you on our website soon. But until that time, you should go on and take a look at prophecynewswatch.com. A lot of good articles are on there, but this one...
You know what I want to do? I want to marry my hotel room. Then they can't throw me out. Under the current laws, I've got a case. I mean, come on. I want to marry... Do you, hotel room, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded husband? To protect and house and, as much as you can, comfort this old lady? I heard you say I do. I distinctly heard you say I do. Therefore, I am wedded to this room.